Alrighty, this is my 2026 Yamaha R7. Just want to show some of the stuff I got on it so far. I got it probably about a month ago or so. I just hit about 600 miles, did the first oil change. And I know there's not a ton of information as far as like little parts and mods you can do to these yet. So I figured maybe I could help some people out and show them what I've done, and maybe they can use that kind of too. So I'll do a quick average guy's review of my R7. So first off, one of the first things I actually did was I went with a full Yoshimura exhaust system. The 2025 R7 Yoshimura exhaust system fits the 2026. So if you have one for a 2025 model, it will fit the same on the 26. So that is actually, when I ordered it, it said for 2025, but it fits fine. I did the tail tidy. The tail tidy that I went with was from Vagabond Motorsports. The Vagabond tail tidy, again, it said it fit only up to 2025. So I just bought it and hoped for the best, and it actually lined up perfectly on the 2026. So there's another thing that said it only works for 2025, but it does indeed work for 2026. Yeah, the fitment on it was awesome. It took a little bit of time to get it installed because I've never done something like that. It probably took me a good 45 minutes to an hour to get it done, but once it was done, I was really happy with it. It uses all your stock blinkers and your stock LED license plate light, all stock components, and they all work good. So I also recently, just the other day, put on these frame sliders. These are OES, and they do have a set that says specifically for the 2026 R7. So if you're looking for frame sliders that don't hit on your fairings, OES has some that are for the 2026, because the 2025 fairings are actually shaped different. So I tried a pair on Amazon that said for 2025, and obviously they didn't fit because this area shape is different and it would hit on my fairing and I couldn't get it in. So these OES ones have just the ever so slightest bit of clearance. You can just see light in there. But yeah, Loctited those, cranked them down to, I think it was 54 foot-pounds, I think is what it called for, the stock torque specs on those. If you do frame sliders, a heads up, do one at a time. If you take them both out, their motor mount things will shift and you won't be able to get them to line up. So do one at a time so it doesn't shift on you. So put one on, then go to the other side and put the other on. Where else? I did send my ECU out. So yeah, I voided my warranty already. I sent my ECU out to Two Wheel Dyno Works to have them flash it for my full exhaust system, the Yoshi, and it was awesome. It woke the bike up quite a bit. It pulls a lot harder in the lower range. I didn't notice it as much in the mid. The mid seemed not too much different, maybe just slight more power, but I noticed it the most at the very bottom when initial acceleration, like that initial torque, that punch, and also on the top end it pulls a little further. The mid-range I didn't notice it as much. But yeah, I sent my ECU out to them. I got it back within probably 4 days, popped it in, and so when you first put it in, the first 2 times you ride, your check engine light will be on. Go out, do like a 45 minute ride, come back, turn the bike off, let it sit, and then another time go out, do another 45 minute ride. Your check engine light will be back on, still be on on your second ride. And then when I turned my key off after that second ride, I let it sit for like 5 minutes, turned my key back on and started it after that second ride, and the check engine light was gone. So that was sick. The ECU on these, if you do want to send it out, unlike the 25s where it's under the seat, the ECU is actually behind this fairing right about here. So if you need to send your ECU out, you actually got to take this left side fairing off, which honestly isn't too bad. There's not a lot of information on taking them off, so I'll try to briefly go over of how I took it off. So for starters, I took this piece off up here. There's 2 Allens. I believe they're 4 millimeter. Once those are out, be careful. There's little plastic washers on them. Just pull up on this plastic piece and kind of move it around. I mean, don't yank it and snap it, but it'll pop out. Once those are out, you have 4mm here, a couple down here, and then you also have push pins. Your push pins are going to be down here. There's one here, one underneath here, and up inside this fairing you want to take all those push pins out as well. Once all those are out, this whole fairing pulls straight out. It sits in clips. It's just a friction fit with the clips, like pegs. So once you get all those bolts and all those clips out, I think it's a total of like, let's see, 1, 2, 3, 4 bolts, 4mm Allens, and then like 5 clips or so. Once those are out, just pull this straight out and it'll pop out. And then your ECU will be right here. What else? I'll go over some of the settings. I don't know, many people have gone over some of the settings. I'll go over them quick on the screen, best I can. I'm still learning some of them. I don't play with settings too much. I just keep it in sport mode and kind of run it. So for 2026, this is going to be the menu here. You have, let's see, obviously your settings, your information, trip mileage, which is just like it tracks your trip mileage, your maintenance, which is for your oil. I just did my oil, haven't even ridden it yet. So I have 0 miles on my oil change that I just did. Vehicle info, your average speed, average fuel, trip time. Obviously you can reset everything too. Next would be you have vehicle function. This is your traction control, slide control, lift control. It's all for traction and slipping, so if you're turning you don't kind of loop out or slide out. If you're going to do wheelies and be stunting, you're probably going to want to turn all this off. When you turn all that off, you'll see those orange things on the left just indicating like, hey, all your rider aids are off, be careful. So yeah, if you're going to be stunting and doing wheelies, most people are probably going to turn that stuff off. I don't really do much for that kind of stuff. I'll pop little wheelies here and there, but it's not really my thing. I just like to kind of enjoy riding and cruise. ABS settings, if you want your ABS on or off. Again, some people who stunt and do wheelies and stoppies and all that, they turn their ABS off. I don't mess with it. Here's your modes, and you can adjust them all based on like a scale of 1 to 3. So in sport, your rider aids are all the way at 1, which is the lowest. Street, they're at 2. If it's rain, it bumps all your rider aids up to 3 to be safe. And then also you have custom where you can do your own. Again, I leave it in sport and run it. Track modes, again, same thing, but it's just different modes for track. If you do take your bike to the track, it's literally the same thing, but you have one that's a whole separate, I guess, screen for it. I don't, again, mess with that. Import, export apps. I honestly haven't messed with that. I would imagine that's from your phone. You have your clock. That's pretty straightforward. Auto adjustment. This is pretty cool. So display, you obviously have brightness. Your background, they say auto. The reason that says auto on display, see how this is white currently? If this were to go, let's see, it turns white when you're outside in the daylight. If it were to be nighttime, all this automatically, where it's white, switches to black. It's got like a theme that it switches between depending if you're riding it in the dark or in the light. If you're in the light, it's white. If you're in the dark, it's black. I really like the black look. I've been thinking about just switching to the black one and just leaving it just because it looks a lot more sleek with a black bike. Now let's go back into settings. Display again. We did the brightness. We checked that. Yeah, you can adjust the brightness. I got it maxed out. I don't know why you wouldn't. Units. Obviously your mileage. You can switch between miles or kilometers, I'm sure. Temperature for your coolant. You can switch between Fahrenheit, Celsius, shift indicator, that's your shift light. So up here in the top left, when you hit a certain RPM, your shift light will blink white. Indicator type, you can have it flash, you can have it be steady, or just no shift light at all. I set my RPM range to 7,000 for the shift light. Off the floor, it's going to be set really low at like 4,500. You'll see it flashing. Again, the brightness for the shift light, I keep it max. You can see it kind of blinking up there. That's what it looks like. Connectivity settings. I do, dude. I could not. Their connectivity, the way they have it set up, Yamaha, is so janky. Sometimes my phone would connect, sometimes it wouldn't connect. You have to, if you want. So there's a couple things you can do. You can like listen to music and like see it on your screen there. What music you listen to. You can do turn-by-turn navigation through an app called Garmin Street Cross, which I tried to download, and it was just a pain in the ass. It was convoluted. And just the connectivity on this is just janky. They need to work on figuring out a better system, whether it be Apple CarPlay or Android Auto, whatever they call it, because the system they have sucks. It's so buggy and weird and convoluted, and you have to go through all these steps to get things to connect. I don't use it. I just got a phone mount in my steering stem. And just put my phone there and just use my apps that way. It's way easier than messing and connecting every time you go to get on the bike. It's just, to me, it's not worth the hassle. I think it's too janky. So let's see, where were we? Yeah, so we have, let me get back in menu. Settings, clock we did, shift indicator we did, connectivity, yeah. So connection, your Bluetooth, which is when you connect your phone, discovery mode to pair it, all that good stuff. If you mess with it, if you really want to try using your phone, like again, I hated it. I don't bother. System information, your serial number, blah, 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 blah. Legal information, licenses, nothing really important in there. So let's see, what else we got in settings here. That's it for that part of the settings. Let's see, you also, if you look, you can edit all these little, I don't know what you want to call them, widgets down here. I leave mine with the odometer, my coolant temperature, and my fuel gauge. But on this, you can move over and move up and down. When you move up and down, you can flip through different settings you want on your screen. Air temperature, trip time. Obviously, I wouldn't have double fuel, but if you want your fuel in the middle, you can put it there. Odometer, which I already have on the left. Trip 1, Trip 2, Trip F. Instant fuel, your miles per gallon, so when you're riding it'll tell you, it'll go up and down for what your MPG is, your average fuel, your range, which I believe is just like the range you can go with how much fuel you have, and then back to coolant. And again, you can put any of those on any side that you want and kind of customize it. Another thing, let me see in the menu if I can find it. So there's apps here. So settings we went through. So then you have apps, applications. This is when you connect your phone and you try to get apps on it. I don't mess with it. But there is navigation, music, connect to your phone, weather, notifications, information transfer, again, connectivity settings, which we already saw. I don't mess with it. I'm not going to go through it. You mess with that if you want to. Your music, turn-by-turn navigation, regular navigation, themes. This is what I want to get to. This is pretty cool. So there's the dark theme that it switches to if it's at night. There's that theme you can switch to, which also switches between light and dark. You have this theme. I don't know how well you can see through the camera. You have this theme. Then you have track timers as a theme as well. I stick with the stock one. I like the stock one. I think it looks clean. Vehicle info, which, I mean, that's not really, there's nothing to really look at in there. I mean, yeah. So vehicle info, theme, we went through that, apps, we went through settings, we went through, so we're good on that. So over here, the 2026 has something that's really nice that I like to use to give my wrist and my back a break. It is cruise control. So if you go to mode here and you tap it, you'll have that pop up on the screen. And when you hit down on to set, obviously you'll set your cruise control, and you can just take your hands off, stretch a little, do what you got to do. I haven't figured out what this is yet. When it pops up, if I hit mode again, it says LIM. I don't know if that's a limiter. I know there is launch control with this bike. I honestly don't use it. I think it's for an average person. There's really no reason unless you're drag racing to use launch control. But to each your own. There is launch control with this bike if you want to use it. What else? What else we have? Obviously your turn signals, horn, and hazards are down here. You can, if you want to, on the fly. So this is where you change between modes: sport, custom, rain, street, back to sport. If you hold this, you can bring up all those settings and adjust them on the fly. I just leave it on stock sport. But yeah, you can adjust them on the fly. Again, you can use the throttle to adjust them, and you can use this little joystick to adjust them. Your high beam, low beam here. Rain, street, sport, back to sport. Let me get out of there. Yeah, I'm not sure where the launch control is in this. I haven't messed with it, nor do I intend on messing with the launch control. It's just, I have no use for it. What else? I mean, that's a quick, like, average guy's rundown of the bike. I'll hit the blinkers so you guys can check out this tail tighty kit. I mean, it's all stock stuff, but at least you can see it. So that's what it looks like. So you got your light underneath, all that good stuff. I guess what I could do, start it up for y'all so you can hear the Yoshi. Let's do that quick. First start since the fresh oil change. Let it warm up before I rev it. I don't want to rev it while it's still cold. But yeah, man, this is a really smooth bike. I really enjoy it. It's got a lot of cool creature comforts. Yeah, I absolutely love it. I don't need crazy power. I don't need a 1000. The R7 for your average person does more than enough. It's a really, really enjoyable bike. I like it a lot. Give you a couple revs here. Barks pretty good. It barks pretty good. You also have fully adjustable suspension here in the front on your forks, and also in the rear. You have Brembo levers and cylinders for your brakes up here. Brembo. But the actual brakes themselves are not Brembo. No big deal. Stock, they come tire-wise, they come with Bridgestone Battle Axe S23s. That's the stock tires they come with. What else? Went over that. I mean, yeah, for most people, for your average rider, it's going to be more than enough bike, I think, personally. Yeah, if you have any other questions about Fitment or the bike and you guys want to know, I'll try my best to answer them if you leave a comment. Again, this is my new 2026 R7, 500 miles on it. I'm super stoked on it. But yeah, that's really it, guys. Thanks.